All right.
Hey, we're live.
We are live.
Monetize Mondays, episode 2.
All right, cool. All right, we are about to go live on Facebook. Here we go. Hey, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful holiday last week and awesome weekend. We are here for our second episode of Monetize Mondays with Henry Kaminski and David Asarno. And today we're going to showcase how to strategically plan out your sales funnel for success.
Awesome.
So without further ado, David?
Hey, thanks, Henry. Yeah, one of the things that we often notice is how most people just come up with an idea and they throw something up there and they expect it to be successful, or they just have someone build a nice looking funnel and they don't really begin with strategy. And I wanted to highlight and showcase something that I developed over the past week, and it was 100% from a strategic point of view. It was looking at something, someone's problems that they were having. So what I'm going to do is share my screen. Okay, we're going to share the screen. Can you see my screen right now?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So the first thing I wanted to do was talk about, really taking time up front and finding out the challenges that someone has. Okay, so one of the things with this client in building out the funnel for them was, they have a done for you workshop. The problem is they signed up about 400 people a year into their program, and only about 20 of them became highly successful and productive. Another challenge they were having was a traffic problem. So, or a conversion problem from the traffic. So they were getting, about 1,000 leads a month, and they, convert 5% of those. So one of the things that we do first always is we map things out. So literally mapped out their entire current case. Where are they now? Where do they want to go? And then putting together a funnel plan and recommendation based upon that.
Real quick, David, let me ask the audience a question. Would you build a house without someone to draw up the plans for you first? So why would we build out a online business without taking those vital steps? So what David just explained and showcased was how to map all of that out first, so that when we come to market, we're in a much better place, right?
Yeah. So, but it's interesting though, because you and I had a conversation with someone this morning that was looking at having someone build out their funnel. Oh, turn the speaker down just a little bit. I'm getting a little bit of feedback.
Okay.
Just turn the volume down just a little bit. Thanks. And one of the challenges that they were having was, people would quote, "Hey, I can build a funnel page for a couple $100, or I'll build you a funnel for 30,000." And I said, where strategically? He's like, "Well, I just want it built." I said, "Well, we can build something for you, but do you want it to work?" And so, this is the steps that we take, on the front end when we work with someone strategically. But really, I just want to look at the people that they wanted to attract, their avatar. So what did they want? And then we created this plan based upon this. Making more money in less time, killer virtual lead program, set of live workshops, selling annuity products that pay high commission, being recognized, great software to help them run their business. So after that, I built a plan, literally a strategic plan. What is everything going to do? Now, we did a quiz funnel, and I'm going to tell you why in a second, because it's something that we, depending upon the situation, we want to be able to capture metadata, and I'll talk about that. So once someone comes through, they complete the quiz, they got the email sequence activation, then they go to the quiz results page, and they have an opportunity, in this case, to register for a web class. In this case, it's an every hour on the hour automated webinars. Now you can do live webinars, you can use scheduled webinars, you can do webinars on demand, you can use EverWebinar, you can do self-seminar. We're using ClickFunnels for ours. And then they went from there, you know, if they didn't register for the web class, they go into the Soap Opera Seinfeld email sequence. And then they can go to the webinar replay, strategy session, teleseminar, and then everything is designed to get them to, attend the class and go right back in where they buy the program. So
and just to back up 1 second, when David mentioned the soap opera email sequence, we're talking, those are the automated emails that go out every day or every other day, however you want them to go out to help nurture your lead. That person who gave you their email address and did not take action. It's super important to have that sequence, that back end sequence, to help nurture and get that prospect to know, like, and trust you more. So I just wanted to make that point because, David, you and I are so immersed into this and we do this every single day.
Yeah.
Sometimes we forget that the regular folks we assume that they know what an email sequence is.
Well, and one of the things that people don't like, why is soap opera Seinfeld? And I got that from Russell, and I don't know where he got it from. And at the same time, a soap opera is drama. You get people hooked on the drama, the headline. I want you to think about, where do you get drama? Open up the Star, or what's it called? The
People magazine. I mean, you can go anywhere and find drama.
You flip through those and you'll have plenty. So and then Seinfeld was a great TV show, much to do about nothing, and you just talk about things that are going on every day in your life. And oh, by the way, while I was thinking every day of my life, I came up with something. So
here's a quick email tip. When people are doing these email marketing campaigns, one of the biggest things that I found that works really, really well is, when you're creating these email sequences, be very natural about it. How would we email our best friend or family member? If you structure your emails in that same way, you're going to get better engagement. So I want to definitely put that out there. A lot of questions come in, my email marketing stinks. How could I help get it, more engaging and get people to take action? Well, be normal with it. Be natural with it, and you'll start to see the change. Go ahead, David.
Here's a perfect example. We have on our website, howtomonetize.net. Is your business leaking profits? Take the free quiz and find out now. Everything here, look, take the quiz, take the quiz. Ooh, take the quiz. 3 calls to action right there on the front page to take the quiz. Now with this one, what it takes to, we got into the avatar of the client, what it takes to be a top 6-figure, 7-figure producer. Are you average? Now, is a top producer going to think that they're average? No, they're going to want to find out where they stand. So meanwhile, they get to start taking the quiz, and we start collecting data. Now, this is not just like taking a survey. We're talking about capturing this data and putting it on into the CRM and automation system that we're using, that we tie it into, that we can now trigger action sets based upon the data that we capture. If they have a business, they can get one set of emails. If they're just getting started, they could get into another funnel. Depending upon what they're making, you may want to qualify them differently. If they want to change their answer, they can change their answer. Okay. How much do they invest? Do they invest in education? Okay. What do they need help with the most? Okay. So we're scoring these. Now, based upon that, so we submit that, and then all of a sudden, here's a cool thing. Hey, I have a business. Awesome. So now we're taking the data that they captured, passing it through, and putting it in here. And the whole idea here is to get them to register for a web class. Okay. So because it's, 50, we're at 102, the web class already started. Okay. But guess what? This is what the web class would look like. So I already had this up ready to go, knowing we're going to be talking about this today. And this whole bottom part of the page stays hidden. until we've given enough value for them to buy, because we don't want someone to see right away, buy or buy, right? So we make, and then we put proof of concept. And if they're not ready, we schedule a strategy session. So, you know, the whole reason for this, that I wanted to show this today, is so many people just begin with just building a funnel. They don't think strategically. What is the end goal of the client? What do you want to achieve? Who's the avatar that you're targeting? What are their pains? What are the problems that they have? What's keeping them up at night? And when you can be the solution to the problems that they're having, they'll line up for you. They'll engage with you more. And if you capture their microdata on the front end, all of a sudden you can turn it into a business case that you'll be able to sell them and build a long-term client out of. So anyway, I just wanted to share a little bit of a thought process behind how, you know, behind this, because this comes up time and time again. I just need a funnel that looks nice. I spent tons and tons of money already, and my funnel's not converting. Well, what have you thought of strategically? What have you planned out? What questions have you asked of yourself and your market? And the problem is most people don't.
Yeah, have you researched your audience? I think, you know, that's such an unsexy part of the whole process. However, it's probably one of the most important parts.
I think it's sexy.
Me too. If you don't know what your audience wants, needs, you know, you don't know how to speak to them. It's like going to a foreign language, foreign country, and trying to speak the language. It's very difficult. But if you understand where they're coming from, and you get into that conversation that they're having in their head already, it becomes a lot easier to have that conversation with them. And I always talk about this in my you know, my branding courses and my branding consultations is, you know, you want to get inside that person's head so that they say to themselves, holy moly, like he knows what I want, or she knows exactly how I'm feeling. And that's what brings people's emotions up and gets them to take action. So it's so important to do that research and to really find out who you truly want to serve before you go out there and start spending money building these sales and marketing funnels out with, and then falling flat a couple weeks later, and here you're in the hole a couple grand. So that's I can't speak more about that.
Yeah, I mean, that, to me, it's the most important thing, and it is because now all of a sudden you really can see when you take the time. I mean, I can tell you the time it took to plan all that out was probably more than it took to actually build out the framework of it. Now, to make it work nice and integrate, and because there's a membership site, there's affiliate center, there's all those things, and then writing all the emails that go along with it, that takes time. And I would say that more time needs to be spent on the front end, really understanding your client and who you're targeting. And so that way you go ahead.
I had a question come in last week through my Instagram, and one of my fans asked, you know, there's so much out there about, yeah, build a landing page and build a marketing funnel and create content and write a blog, but they don't talk about how you actually, what do you do before that? And how do you know what your audience is feeling and their pains and their challenges and all of that? Well, it's simple. That's all you have to do is ask. So I use once a day on my Instagram page, I will ask a question out to my audience. And based upon their answers, it gives me tons of data on what I should be talking about. Because they're giving me that data, they're giving me that info. I'm not making it up. And so when I create my content, I'm hitting the pain points and the challenges that my audience is telling me. And people forget to do that.
Yep.
So, you know, I say 3 simple steps, how to attract more people to your brand. Very simple. 1, know who you want to serve. 2, find out their challenges by asking them. And then 3, giving them what they're asking for. And at the end of it saying, hey, come over here. Come over to my website. I have some more information for you. And bam, that's how you
And I'll add one more thing. Once you get them there, I would highly suggest, and what we're talking about is, what is every step? Now, when they come in on the front end, how are you going to attract them? How are you going to give them something that will engage them? And then how can you move them up the value ladder faster? And that's where the strategic planning comes. Because I've had so many people say, hey, I just want to put up this page and get some traffic. I wouldn't put up this page and start getting traffic until you thought out what happens when they buy this and they buy this and they buy this. What do you want them to do along the whole continuum? And most people forget to think about that.
They don't think that far out. Yeah, exactly. So always knowing one step ahead of where you want to take your audience is so important. So, you know, with all that said, we want to keep these episodes very tight. So I'm going to wrap this up. David, do you have anything else that you could share or want to share real quick? And then, by the way, we're actually going to post the replay link of this live session right underneath this video in case you didn't catch it live here on Facebook. So is there anything else you want to leave our audience with?
Just think strategically, you know. That's it. Just really, I know we just like to get things done, and then focus in on implementing. Don't just put it up one day, run some traffic to it, and say, oh, that didn't work. You've got to test things out. You've got to have a commitment, and when you make a change, make one change at a time. Don't make global wholesale changes, and that's another mistake. We'll talk about that on our next episode.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you next Monday. Take care, guys.
Okay, and those on Google, have a great